What's up, guys? It's Brandon Flash. Today, you're joining me with my 2025 Tesla Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive pre-refresh. This was an October 1st delivered because it was a demo car, and then I took delivery end of December 2024. It's now end of November 2025. We've put about 11,000 miles on this car, and we're going to be doing a battery health test. So for reference, I last did this battery test about 6 months ago, and we were at about 6,000 miles, and the battery health was 95%, which I thought at the time was pretty bad. It does seem to have plateaued. Let me show you guys some references here on Tessie and TeslaMate just to show you DC AC charging mix and to show you what Tessie is showing for battery health. So both Tessie and TeslaMate have been used since day one. So here is the battery health according to Tessie. So we have about 6.87% degradation, and you can see how, let's turn off rotation lock here so you guys can see. It's a little easier to see when it's turned, maybe. There we go. So you can see how it was fairly flat and then has started plateauing, and that's max range as well. So you can see early on it was showing, if that wants to focus, maybe, well, that's saying 337 miles of full battery range, whereas now we're at about 313, 314, which is a fair bit of a drop. You can see we've done quite a few deep cycles here. We just got back from a 2,078 mile road trip, so definitely the battery has seen some up and down and a lot of fast charging. And here you can see TeslaMate stats. So we have charged it 4.36 megawatt hours. Not sure why this is being wonky on focus. There we go. And you can see that we have DC charged it about 65% of the time and AC charged about 35% of the time. You can see the charging curve there. So it still does 250 kilowatts, of course, and then tends to plateau in. A lot of this has to do with where it started as far as state of charge. You can see it's also been full charge to 100% 54 times. It's been charged 256 times, so about 20% of the time it is fully charged. You can also see that at home is my top charging spot, and yeah, I discharge it pretty low pretty often, and I pretty much never charge it low. So let's go into settings here. So we'll go into service and we'll go into battery health. So there you can see where I last tested it. You can do this every 6 months. So we'll do battery health test, and we're in park, less than 20%, we're at 15%. Connected to the internet, no updates are scheduled, no battery or thermal alerts. And this menu has changed a little bit since the last time we did this. It's a little bit nicer looking now. And we have a Tesla wall connector right there. So that is a universal wall connector that will do 9.6 kilowatts. So that is good for those two. So let's get it plugged in, and then we'll get to it. I need to unwind that cord and get it all the way to the back of the car. So yeah, and then we'll get this test started. So we're now plugged in. You can see it's ramping up there. Here's a new additional vehicle or additional charging info screen. So it's showing maximum battery input power. So it could do 11.5 kilowatts, meaning that it is able to do 48 amps, but the charger can only do 40 amps because that's how I have this wired up. And we'll go back into service and battery health, battery test. So now you can see we have green for all of those. So we'll do start test. And just like that, it's going to discharge between 0 and 10%. I'm curious how it determines how low to discharge it. And I'll see you guys in the morning. And of course, I do have Tessie running, so we'll see the data of the charging overnight. And then I also have an Emporia on my meter, or not on my meter, on my electrical panel. So that way I can see the energy use from the Tesla wall connector. I'll be able to see the data from the Tesla wall connector since that's in my Tesla app as well for the charging session. So we'll see not only what the battery health says on the screen, but we'll be able to extrapolate, hopefully from 0% to 100%, that charging and how much energy was added and all that fun stuff. You can also hear the pumps are running and draining the battery, and I'm curious to see how long it takes and how low it drains it to. Well, it's the next morning, and it just finished. It is now 1:20 in the afternoon, so it drained from 15% all the way down to 1% seemingly. Did a full charge to 100%, and then it gave it a resting period before it gave the results of the test. I got the notification on the mobile app. I took a screenshot, and you can see it here. I'll show you guys in a second, but 90% battery health. That is pretty bad for 11,000 miles and pretty significant degradation, and is also supported by the rated range shown. So let's hop into the car. I'll show you guys some more info here, and then we'll kind of go over it and discuss what it means. I think I'm also going to continue doing these every 6 months or so, which should be every 5-ish thousand miles or so. And I think that will be an interesting test to see how this degrades over the life, because this is a 3-year lease. We've had it about a year now, and it's going to be interesting to see how this maintains, plateaus, gets worse, whatever. I don't really know. I'm hoping it plateaus. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty darn bad by the end of this lease. But let's hop in the car. So here you can see we're in the car now. 90% your battery is healthy. I'm not so sure that's an indication of healthy. You can see here we added 72 kilowatt hour on this charge. We're at 100% state of charge. Just finished a few minutes ago. I think it did show 308, but now it's 307. And this car was originally 338 miles of rated range. So that is not very good. Here you can see the screenshot I took from the mobile app, 90% battery health. And let me go into Tessie and show you guys the charging session. So here you can see the charging session. We went from 1% to 100%. We used 74 kilowatt hour charging. We had a 96% charging efficiency, so 71.33 went into the battery. And you can see the odometer there, 11,318 miles and 104 miles since the last charge, and it charged in about 9 hours and 16 minutes. You can see the charge curve here, so pretty flat at that 9-ish kilowatts, and then started tapering down. You can see here as well in kilowatt and in current. It was kind of bouncing between 9 and 10 kilowatt. I think it was right on the verge, depending on exactly the voltage coming in at 40 amps. And then you can see the taper down both in the current, so 40 amps constant until it got to about here. So that is, let's see what percentage that is. That started plateauing. That's about 88%. It started tapering down even on AC charging, which is really not great. You can see the charging temperature here, so it kind of oscillated between about 57 degrees Fahrenheit and 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So interesting that it would maintain the thermals that way. And let's go into the battery health screen here. And now that this is recalibrated, so it's showing 79.43 kilowatt hour in the pack, and a battery health of, if this wants to focus, there we go, 93% according to Tessie. So overall, I'm really not impressed with the battery health on this. This makes me a little bit hesitant to buy a Tesla versus leasing a Tesla. I will say that this car has not been treated the nicest as far as trying to keep up with the battery health, because I charge it to 100% often. I often DC fast charge it, take it on road trips, but that's how I'm going to be using vehicles regardless. Sorry, motion lights here in the garage. And it really just makes me want to lease a car, so that way, if it does degrade significantly, it's not my problem. And of course, there is the battery warranty of 8-year, 120,000 miles, that it's going to maintain at least 70% battery health. However, 70% battery health is a pretty significant drop in the usable capacity of the battery, and makes an actual noticeable change in how the vehicle is useful. I would not want to lose 30% of the range on this car. That would be very significant, nearly 100 miles of rated range. And that we've already lost 10% of rated range at 11,000 miles is pretty disappointing. So would love to hear what you guys think, if you guys have run battery health tests on your cars, and if you've run them kind of over the course of time to see how it impacts your battery health, and the measurements that you're getting. Would love to hear down below. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys on the next one.